many of you text and drive? Is replying worth dying? A 20-year-old woman is facing charges for causing death of a man, a motorcycle driver. Texting was the reason why the accident occurred. She faces charges of manslaughter while texting. The incident happens as the motorcycle driver was riding when the 20-year-old veered off the road into his path. An eyewitness says he was driving using one hand while the other was texting, and she was facing down. Police have records of her cell phone to prove she was texting. The woman faces up to 10 years in prison if found guilty. Texting while driving is worse than driving under the influence. Statistics have shown that texting makes any driver 23 times more prone to crashing. This is because answering to a text message distracts attention for nearly 5 seconds. 5 seconds may sound a very short time, but within 5 seconds, a person might have covered a distance equivalent to a football field. Reports have gone ahead to state that teenagers between the ages of 15 and 19 years old are the most distracted group. The situation is so dire due to the fact that 11 teenagers die each day to texting-related accidents. Yet up to 46% of the 10 drivers do admit to texting and driving. In a court proceeding, another witness recounts how he heard some commotion and later discovered that it was a car crash. Together with his roommate, they ran towards the site. They heard the victim shout for help. She was in pain and was badly injured. On one of her legs was torn into 2 parts. The first thing they did was to try to stop her from bleeding. Using a belt, they tied the wound, even though she continued bleeding, but it was better than having an open wound. She was later taken to the hospital and was admitted and said to be in critical condition. She was standing between her car, which was parked, and another car which was found in front of her home. The police suspected that the driver was hit her car under the influence of alcohol or drugs. However, his impairment was not only because of the influence. He was responding to a text message. The message was a composition of 4 letters. The accident nearly took away a life of an innocent person. In the year 2011, 3,301 person died and 387,000 were injured because of the accident that involved distracted drivers. The globe is losing far too many people to the cause that can be avoided if the players involved were able to collaborate. Texting while driving contributes to 10% of fatal accidents on the road. In fact, 94% of drivers do support the ban of texting while driving. That same percentage of teens do also admit to texting is a serious threat. There is a strong penalty both in fine and prison time, but still the accident keeps occurring. Other measures are in use to try to stop drivers from texting and driving. One is by informing drivers about the reality on the ground. They should have information on the statistic of accidents caused by texting while driving. Secondly, is to inform drivers about what the law says about the accidents. With drivers, they are more informed of the law, then they end up being careful. Lastly, each individual is supposed to set a good example. For instance, those who have text while driving and cause accident should come out and advise others. Let's take a stand. If it is a need, you must reply to a text, pull over, or simply wait until you have reached your destination. It can wait. You do not have to respond to your family. You do not want to respond to your family or friend text where you are. You don't want your answer to be in an ambulance. The police answer to be in jail for manslaughter, possibly murder, or worse, the doctor answered, he or she is dead. Life is short. Don't make it shorter by texting and driving.